set of notes, we are going to continue adding and subtracting fractions. Remember that in our 11.4 notes, we began adding fractions, and there I've discussed, or I've listed the steps for finding an LCD and for actually doing the adding. So if you want to refer back to those steps, they might help you out, but those were in section 11.4. All right, so today's notes, notice we have binomials in our denominators. And so we're going to work with those. What we want to do in order to find the LCD, and we're going to just start off, and we're going to find the LCD for every problem in these notes, because finding the LCD is important. If you don't know what it is, you can't continue. So we'll just start and find the LCD for everything. So we'll start with number 1. I have u plus 2, and I need to factor it, but u plus 2 won't factor, so it's just its own little factor by itself. 3u plus 6 will factor out of 3, and that will leave us with u plus 2. So we saw earlier in our notes where when we build our LCD, and I'll just draw our two new fractions here. When we build our LCD, it has to have one of each type of factor. So it's going to need to have that 3, and it needs to have a u plus 2. I don't see any exponents involved, so that's going to be our LCD for problem 1. Problem 2, we'll factor the denominators, so x and x plus 2. So our new denominator will need to have an x and x plus 2. And in our second one, it also just has that x plus 2. So x plus 2 will be our new lowest common denominator. So hopefully you heard me at the beginning. So for problem number 3, to find the LCD, then we've got x minus 2 and x plus 3. Neither one of those can be factored. So our LCD then is just going to be the first factor, x minus 2, and the second one, x plus 3. So x minus 2 and x plus 3. Next set of notes, kind of the same thing. Again, neither one of those can be factored, so that will just be c plus 3, c plus 2, I'll repeat that, c plus 3, c plus 2. Problem 5, this one, they both factor. So I will factor out of 4, that leaves me with d plus 3. Now the second one, I can factor out of 5, and it also leaves me with d plus 3. So when I find my common denominator, I need to have a common denominator for 4 and 5, so that the smallest number they'll both divide into is a 20. So we'll use 20 in our LCD, and then it's got the d plus 3. So 20 d plus 3 is our common denominator for that. 7, oh, this one gets a little bit more complicated because you see the 16 minus u squared. So I want to reverse this around so that the u is in the front. So I'm going to factor out a negative 1 from that first, and that's going to leave me with u squared minus 16. And then I'll factor that, and it factors into u minus 4 and u plus 4. So I am actually going to take this negative 1, and you know, we've talked a little bit how that negative can either go on the bottom or the top or in the middle, and I'm going to bring it up and put it up here on top. Well, let's just actually put it right here. So we'll just go ahead and leave that a plus. So I'll leave that a plus right there, and I'll take this minus and just move it to the top, which is okay. Doesn't matter if my negative is on top or bottom. So now when I do my LCD, I'm going to have both
a u minus 4 and a u plus 4 in it. So u minus 4, u plus 4, we took care of that minus 1 by moving it to the numerator. 8, AC method, so x minus 2, x plus 1. The second one, GCF, x, and x plus 1. So my LCD is going to be built with an x. It needs to have just that simple x. It needs to have an x plus 1, and it also needs to have an x minus 2. All right. I think there's one more, but we're going to stop right there for now. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I think I'm going to do that and color again here. And we're going to go back now to the first page and go ahead and add these fractions. All right, so we've learned, and you know from the past, that when I get a new denominator, I need to multiply by a clever 1 so that the numerator follows suit. I can't just change the denominator. So in this first one here, I have a u plus 2, and it's going to change to 3 times u plus 2. So that means that I multiplied by the clever 1, 3 over 3. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute that times the numerator, and that's going to give me 3u minus 3. I've got a plus here. For the second one, it did not change. It stayed exactly the same, so just u plus 11. Then I'm going to add those, and that's going to give me 4u plus 8 divided by 3u plus 2. All right, so hopefully you've done enough reducing that you recognize that that 4 is going to come out and leave me with u plus 2 over 3 times u plus 2. U plus 2's cancel, and my final answer is 3/4. 2, first fraction doesn't change, so I'm just going to leave x plus 12 in the numerator. Second one looks like I multiplied by an x to change that to the x times x plus 2. So clever won it, and we get x over x, that gives me 5x, that's addition. So I get 6x plus 12 over x times x plus 2. And yes, again, that 6 is going to factor out, leaving me with x plus 2 over x, and x plus 2, x plus 2 is canceled, leaves me with 6 over x. So you see how everything builds. You have to know how to simplify to get that final answer. 3, my first fraction was multiplied by an x plus 3. So that means I need to multiply by, I'll put this here, x plus 3 over x plus 3. And I'm going to distribute and get x squared plus 3x. There's a plus here. Then the second one, I had to multiply it by x minus 2. Distribute, that gives me x squared minus 2x. Now we're ready to add, so we'll add. We're going to keep that denominator, x minus 2, x plus 3, and add the numerator. That gives me 2x squared plus x. And you might notice that that really is not going to reduce, but you can go ahead and do it anyway. X times 2x plus 1 over x minus 2 and x plus 3. And that does not cancel anywhere. So my final answer. 4, I'm going to multiply the first fraction by c plus 2. So c plus 2 over c plus 2, and that gives me 5c plus 10. The second fraction by c plus 3 over c plus 3. Now, I'm kind of talking really fast, but notice that this is now not addition, but subtraction. So remember that with subtraction, we change it to addition. of the opposite. So I'm going to make that plus a negative 3. So that when I distribute, I'm going to have negative 3c minus 9. Then add like terms, 2c plus 1 over c plus 3 and c plus 2. Does not reduce. 5, when we look at 5, we notice that what changes from the 4, d plus 3 to 20, d plus 3, is it's been multiplied by 5. So we're going to multiply this by 5 over 5. So that's going to give me 5d minus 5. Oh, here's the subtraction. So let's go ahead and on the subtraction, let's change that. I'll do this in green. Change this to addition of the opposite and change both of those signs afterwards. So now we're going to have a plus, and I've got the negative d plus 2. And for the second fraction, it looks like we multiplied, to go from 5 to 20, we multiplied by a 4 and a 4. So distributing, oops, I didn't want to write that there, did I? So distributing that, I'm going to get negative 4d plus 8. Then add, so we'll have 20, d plus 3 for our denominator. 5d minus 4d is d, minus 5 plus 8 is plus 3. Look at there, that cancels really nicely. That'll work. So that ends up being 1/20. Can I skip one? Let's go back. 6. So skip 6. So let's do our LCD really quick. So LCD is going to have a k and a k plus 3 in it. For the first one, I'm going to multiply by k over k. So that's going to give me k squared. Well, again, it's a minus. So it's a minus. We're going to do plus the opposite. Change both of those. And that's going to give me then, this is a plus. I have a negative, or no, I don't want to write it down, do I? I'm multiplying this by k plus 3. Oh, k plus 3. Oh, all right. So, yeah. So that's going to be kind of messy to multiply. So let's FOIL it. So I have negative k, and you might want to come over here and do this. You've got a negative k and a plus 4, and a k and a plus 3. So that's going to give me negative k squared plus 4k minus 3k and plus 12. So we're going to get a minus k squared. Negative 3k, positive 4k is plus k plus 12. Got a little complicated the way I did that, but there you go. So I'm going to add like terms. The k squareds go away. I get k plus 12 over k times k plus 3. And nothing reduces. And that's my answer. 7. I am multiplying the first one by u plus 4. So again, you can use that box if you want to, or let's just FOIL it in our heads. That's u squared plus 4u plus 4u, so it's plus 8u plus 16. All right, so we have plus. And then on the right side, did not change any. So it's just going to be plus a negative 16u. So add it. So we get u squared minus 16u plus 16 over u minus 4 and u plus 4. And that doesn't look like that factors. I'm just double checking in my head to make sure that I did all that okay. All right, so that's what I come up with there on that for that answer. All right, then, last one, 8, looks like I multiplied by x, numerator and denominator, so that gives me 3x, again, plus a negative, and this time it looks like I'm multiplying by an x minus 2, so plus negative x plus 2. Adding it, I get 2x plus 2 over x, x plus 1, x minus 2. That factors to x plus 1 over x, x plus 1, x minus 2, x plus 1 is canceled, and I'm left with 2 over x parentheses x minus 2 for my answer. And there you have it. I do not see anything taping over here. So let's see if I can figure out how to stop this.
Okay, where'd it go?